Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It is TheAlmightyGeoff and we are here with episode 28 of The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings. In the previous episode, we started off by finishing up the quest A Sack Full of Fluff, where we brought in the remaining harpy feathers to the guy who lived just outside of town. Turns out he wasn't giving them to a collector, he was using them to make himself a giant chicken suit, and in exchange we were given a little trophy for ourselves, which was basically like a wearable beak. It was quite peculiar. We returned to Vergen, where we challenged Scalen to 3 games of dice poker and earned ourselves a few new rewards, including the spearhead, which we need to end Henselt's curse. And to finish up, we went to the Dwarven Catacombs just outside of town, and we collected the Dun Banner standard. We had to answer some questions, proving to the wraith that was guarding it that we were a member of his fallen troop, which we weren't. We just lied our way through it, but you know, it is what it is. So I said last time that if we had the opportunity, we will do a proper exploration of Vergen if the guy provided us, and it doesn't actually. And I had a quick look around thinking, seriously going to avoid an entire settlement? And it's basically just that. It's tiny. The only person we can speak to is the woman who we were trading our stuff off with, of which I've cleared out a huge portion of my inventory with. And the rest are just all houses you can enter and loot. It's pretty pointless. So we are just going to carry on with the Blood Curse. So to do so, we need to head back to the Kaedweni camp, meaning we've got to head back into the mist and avoid the battling wraiths again. But we should be coming quite close to the end of chapter 2. It'll definitely be soon, if not this week. I'm not 100% certain. We don't have that many quests, but sometimes the quests are long, sometimes they're dead short. It's a pretty easy way to find our way back. You literally just walk straight through in a straight line. There's not really much point of the amulet, really. It doesn't really do much. There we go. There's the other end. And we're through. Simple as. Alright, what's the situation? Oh, there's a lot of dead bodies.
Good, you're here. The Nilfgaardians attacked us.
Any idea why?
They were loitering around here, staring into the fog as if waiting for something. I summoned Fen, Silas, and a few others, and told Vess to cover us from a distance while we went to talk to them. So I asked the black dogs courteously why they were gazing into the fog, as if the Emperor himself was about to emerge from it. No answer, but I can see the anger, knitted brows, faces reddening. And they start growling to each other in that dog's tongue of theirs. A woman came out of the mist, beautiful and barely alive. She dropped to the ground and a small object slipped from her hand. It was a jade figurine. No larger than a man's hand. If I didn't know it was impossible, I'd say it was Triss turned into a statuette.
It is possible. Artifact compression. Where's this woman?
That's not very good.
I don't know. The girl growled at the soldiers and all hell broke loose. The black ones jumped us and she ran off towards the camp.
I need to follow her.
We're going with you. Fall in!
Okay. Well, just hope we can save her in time. Of course we will eventually, but are we going to see her in chapter 3, or that'll be an end of game thing? You know, Roche, there's just no need for that. Oh my giddy Ann. That's just demoralising.
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt, the Death Mold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
Well, I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Eddard.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch, and there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kaedwen's just fighting for a better life. Eddard's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Eddard? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible, but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Death Mold can't learn that you're holding a Kaedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry now.
Death Mold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Why did you kill him?
What else was I to do?
On the boat, you said he was living proof of Henselt's conspiracy against Temeria.
I didn't plan it. He just didn't survive the interrogation.
Maybe you shouldn't have keel-hauled him.
If he'd been cooperative, I wouldn't have had to.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, and waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kaedweni garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam. Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
Okay. Let's see what the trouble is. Oh. Doesn't seem much has changed. There's a boat.
We're too late.
Is the Percival ready to sail?
It is. But they will not let us go. Henselt has plans of his own.
I couldn't give a shit about Henselt. Shillard has Triss, and I need to save her.
It's not an option. They'll not let us sail until you lift the curse. And we've no chance of catching the Nilfgaardians on foot. If they wanted to kill her, she'd be dead already. Besides which, we know where they've gone. Loch Muin, Witcher. The monarchs and mages are to meet and decide the fate of the known world. You will find Triss there. I promise.
Well, that's unfortunate. Right. Apparently we can check out this little white tent for a couple of notes. So we've got Ambassador Shalad Fitz Osterlane's first letter to the Emperor. Song of the Hunt. Is that everything? Seem to be. Let's have a look at those. That is. It must be a bit better. The resistance to bleeding's a lot better on those. The jet boots. They're exactly the same. Okay, let's read these then. To His Imperial Majesty the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Emen Var Emrys, private and confidential. Your Imperial Majesty, I hasten to report that the Sorcerer Van Hemar has indeed proven right for the role assigned to him. He keeps his apprentice Cynthia on a short leash and displays nothing approaching excessive ambition. I believe him to be of unquestionable loyalty, and his abilities are more than adequate to serve your Imperial Majesty's objectives. The summit will be the final test. We will see how he behaves there, and if he proves more capable of resisting temptation than his female colleagues did, please convey my kindest regards to your consort. Your Imperial Majesty's ever faithful servant, Shilad Fitz Orstelen. Alright, Song of the Hunt. Tracing an ever wider spiral, the hunt circles the world of mortals. Everything decays in the centrifugal vortex, but your anarchy rages over the world. The winds of war smell of blood, flooding the rites of ancient innocence. The best lose all hope, and the worst revel in fervent and fitful power. Looking-glass images without heart or mind haunt the worlds in the name of those who preserve blood from blood and feed on unrestrained lust. Sure. Well, we've had plenty of meetings with the hunt, haven't we? If we go to our journal, we can resume Triss. Where is Triss? So I'm going to speak to Síle, who should be up here somewhere. Around this second. Oh, there she is. I think I just saw her. Nothing much we could do here.
Greetings, Geralt.
I'd assumed that after killing the Kayran, the Pontar Valley would hold no further interest for you.
You know nothing about me, Witcher. I'm here because 2 northern monarchs were murdered. It's quite probable Henselt is next on the list. We don't need another country descending into chaos. King Henselt cannot die. I'll make sure of that.
It's pretty obvious you and Deathmold don't exactly get along.
Deathmold is an overgrown baby. A fine match for King Henselt. The problem is that he's as jealous as he is childish. He claims I wish to steal his position at the Kaedweni court. Nothing could be more absurd.
Foltest's killer forced Triss to teleport him to Vergen. They're somewhere nearby.
That nosy little meddler Triss used my megascope to accomplish that. But I suppose I should be grateful. After all, I might have been the Kingslayer's victim. Even if Triss is in Vergen, I cannot locate her. This damn fog prevents any kind of magical probing.
A sorceress like you must know bundles about paranormal phenomena.
Any mage's knowledge has little to do with superstitions.
The Wild Hunt's no superstition.
Indeed, the phenomenon exists.
I want to know everything about it, including what you know.
You're out of luck. I've never concerned myself with it. I'm also not interested in whirlwinds or hailstorms.
I have proof suggesting that the Wild Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Strange that mages aren't interested.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect. A product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life.
Try the apothecary. Paranormal phenomena apparently interest him. Perhaps he'll satisfy your thirst.
I don't know why you don't want to help me, but I just might find out. Know how to remove a tattoo?
No problem. I'd need some green mold, white myrtle petals, and wolf's aloe.
I'll be back once I've found the ingredients.
Okay. So to do so, as in to talk about the apothecary, apparently he's in a lower camp. I should be across from the canteen actually, which, if I'm not mistaken, is down. Hang on, that's not the canteen, is it? That's the canteen. Oh, there he is.
I am Myron, Master Apothecary in King Henselt's service.
Geralt.
Geralt. Provenance and profession known only to him, so be it. How can I help you?
I want to stock up on herbs and medicine.
Got a prescription?
A prescription?
I jest. We have supply shortages, so I can only sell you certain medicaments.
I'm looking for information about the Wild Hunt.
Odd, mysterious phenomena fascinate me as well.
You must know a lot more than I do.
Unconnected trivia. You should look into Morton Collis. He researched the hunt, devoted his life to it. His notes would be invaluable, the details we would find.
I found some writings by Morton Collis.
I wouldn't mind comparing notes with you. Him.
He doesn't cite many documented facts. Mentions a lot of myths and legends, though.
Very true. Where shall we start?
First and foremost, Collis looked into the hunt's movement, its direction.
The wild hunt moves from north to south, always. Never in the opposite direction. That is known.
That's what I remember. And Collis confirms it. I just don't understand why that is.
By virtue of its trajectory, the cavalcade slips into our world at the North Pole. Thus it has no way to go but south.
According to the notes, the hunt's arrival can be predicted by observing the Orcan Nebula.
Solar eclipses affect how frequently it appears, whereas it invariably makes its advent on the winter solstice, though not every year.
Collis calculated that the hunt appears in those years when the nebula is in the eastern sky. When I trailed the hunt, I passed through many abandoned villages on my way.
The wild hunt kidnaps youths.
Why?
It may need workers, warriors, or meat.
Collis seems to favor the slave theory. Most mages refuse to discuss it.
It's an awkward topic. Since the Council and Conclave banned the use of mind spells, it has almost been taboo to speak of the wild hunt.
Think there's a connection between the retinue and mental spells?
Both seem to addle the brain. All who have dealt with the hunt seem mentally unstable. Many have gone mad. Others have experienced amnesia. The specters emit a magnetic field that distorts perception, impedes brain functions.
They say the hunt's appearance is an omen of war.
That's pure coincidence. The hunt arrives in the winter, and most campaigns begin in spring.
Let's summarize.
Through his observations and by calculating the retinue's trajectory of movement, Collis formulated two equivalent conclusions. The first states that the wild hunt are knights who perished in different worlds and have assembled as a cavalcade of vengeance. His second hypothesis is that some unknown and powerful force multiplies the specters, whose task it is to move between worlds and capture slaves. Both theories seem probable.
If an encounter with the hunt and its magnetic field addles the mind, then a second encounter should reverse those effects.
Indeed, someone who lost their sanity or memory to the wild hunt could be healed upon meeting the cavalcade again. But that is pure speculation. Anyone who succeeded in escaping the Wraith's grasp would rather perish than see them again.
So the wild hunt could cause you to lose your memory, but it could also help you get it back.
Might you know something I don't?
I have amnesia, but for some time now memories have been coming back.
Do you recall when this began?
Right after I killed a certain specter, the king of the wild hunt. I found a poem, the Song of the Hunt.
I will gladly discuss science with you, but poems interest me not. Speak to someone who can decipher them.
Okay. Does he have anything interesting? Not really. Do we have anything interesting? Just sell those off, I guess. Don't really need them.
Gods.
Good luck with whatever it is you do.
Okay, let's do that. I don't think that's even specifically linked to the Where's Triss Marigold, but it's just what it's stated. Okay, so we're going to continue with the blood curse. So we need to go back and see Henselt. I think that means we're basically done with the Kaedweni camp. I think it's just basically making our way out now, solving the curse so they'll let us leave and, I don't know, maybe we'll get our memories back. But whatever it is, we need to solve this so that we can head out and save Triss, which is what's the most important issue.
King Henselt awaits you, Witcher.
I know.
At last. Have you got SABRINA'S spear?
Not only that, I've got all 3 artifacts.
You won't regret it. Let's do some magic.
She died here.
And piston shat as she did.
Evil place. You can feel it in the air. Those candles don't help any either.
They've gone mad. Someone said the bitch died a martyr and now the common folk burn candles for her.
I have to observe this place from a distance.
During the execution, I was on that hill. I'll show you. Scary place.
I hope this won't take long.
Okay. Could pick up the pace. I've got things to do. Henselt. Well, that's not too far, actually. If this is where it stops.
Flat area. That's good.
Are you concerned for your feet?
Your Majesty, you need to draw runic protective signs around the stake.
Magic signs are the domain of witches, not kings. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's important that you draw the circle yourself, Your Majesty.
Important for whom?
It was your death Sabrina foretold, so who do you think?
All right. Tell me what we do.
To lift the curse, we have to reenact the events from 3 years ago.
How do you wish to do that if half of those involved lie rotten with the worms?
It's about the energy of that time. The energy of the woman who cast the curse, combined with the energy of its victim. When you get the runic signs right, Sabrina's ghost will appear.
Bring the bitch to life. It'll be a pleasure to put my spear in her.
Remember to stab her in exactly the same spot as that soldier did, but earlier this time, before the sorceress completes the curse.
I'll look for the hole. But how am I to know when?
When you realize that the curse concerns you. But be ready, she may use a different name.
Is that all?
For you. Then I take over. Specters might appear during the exorcism.
Might or will?
It depends on Sabrina's aura in the spirit world.
I'll wager ghosts loathe the cunt. Let's get it over with. Tell me what I am to draw.
You have to go down there, Your Majesty.
What about you?
I'll guide you. I have a good view from up here.
Okay.
Pour the powder towards the petrified bread loaf, Your Majesty.
Rightio. Black
Head
candles.
towards the black candles, Your Majesty.
Goat skull.
Now go towards the goat skull, Your Majesty.
Yes, I am reading this straight off the guide. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Scorched tree.
Now towards the burnt tree.
Okay, he's making a pattern. That's looking good. Raven's corpse.
Find the raven's corpse, Your Majesty.
Sour milk.
Now spread the powder and head for the stone bowl.
And finally, the pixie
Go
ring.
towards the pixie ring, Your Majesty. Sire, form a large, even circle at a good distance from the pyre.
It's turned out beautifully. Pity the wind will soon scatter it.
The evil power of the curse came from the fire. Fire's a hard element to tame, and this one had added potency. It consumed the body of the one casting the curse.
Enough of these phantasmagorias, as Death Mold puts it. Look at my boots.
Stay in the circle, Your Majesty.
The powder reeks of dwarven dung.
I don't think it matters where you start it. Just set it on fire. Fun, fun, fun. Oh. That'll be Sabrina.
Begun. You have some brave soldiers, Your Majesty.
They're scared of ghosts, as we all are. Cursed is there's hundreds of them.
Calm down, Your Majesty. We're protected by the magic runes. The ghosts won't get past the barrier.
I'm not afraid of people, but those plowing creatures have begun to bother me.
You're safe if you stay within the runes.
What should I do?
When the sorceress calls your name, you have to show mercy and end her suffering with the spear.
Okay.
In the circle, specters could get through.
What shall we do?
I'll take care of them. You finish the exorcism, Your Majesty.
Well,
Curse you, Henselt! By blood and fire! Let it be so by blood and fire! A shooting star! Split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a trail of blood! Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales turned by magic into square pieces of gold! Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules! By the pain and power of fire devouring air, by the charred bones of the innocent, let the prophecy be fulfilled!
Now, Your Majesty.
get on with it. Well, that wasn't very fun, was it? I hate wraiths.
It worked.
Are you sure?
All I can say for sure is that a dwarf can pass between a troll's legs, even on tiptoe. I think it went well.
Good. For me and for you. But all the worse for Edern.
I've separated you from the curse, but it remains active and powerful. The specters of the fallen continue to fight in the fields outside Vergen.
You'll find a way, like you did with that charcoal slut.
That'll be much harder.
I have faith in you, and faith can move mountains.
Funny you say that. I need an artifact symbolizing faith.
Yes, Deathmold told me. I'll give you the medallion. First, I must have a drink. Come to my tent. I'll roll out my best wine. You deserve it.
You goddamn right, you son of a bitch. And we got a level up. Sweet. Oh, did it level up twice? 3 times. Wow, okay. Let's have a look at magic. So that's our level 2. Quen. That's good. Just general sign damage. Controls damage dice multiple. That was very good. Quen has basically saved my ass multiple times. And we'll get this as well, I think. Actually, we should have, if we go into character, look at attributes. We should have gotten Exorcist. Yes, there it is. Damage against all spectres and wraiths is increased by 10%. Well, that is helpful. Okay, I think that's where we're going to end it there, and I'll make my way over to camp to speak with Henselt between the episodes. Have a look at our inventory. That's not changed. We've read that. Journal. So we've continued the podcasts. Just have a scroll down there. Very long quest. Also, where's Triss Marigold? Okay. We head to... Nope, that's... oh, hang on. We didn't check these, did we? Hang on. We have some new characters. Yes, we've got Myron. Yeah, that's it for that. Yeah, don't any of the rest of these will have updated. Could have done, but probably not. Okay, let's save the game there. So, in the next episode, I think we're going to be finishing up with the Blood Curse. I think it ends when we have this last little chat with King Henselt. After that, we'll be carrying on the Assassins of Kings, and possibly after that, finishing up the Eternal Battle. I'm not sure, but we are coming quite close to the end of this chapter anyway. But that is what we're going to do for today, but not for I thank my amazing patrons. My £5 plus patrons are Ron Highlight and Ever the Snake. You can find links to their channels as well as my other £3 plus patrons in the description down below. And on screen you'll see credits to my £1 plus patrons. Thank you so much everyone, it's truly appreciated and it goes a long way to help the channel, so I do thank you a lot for that. And if you wish to join as patrons, you can follow a link in the description down below to my Patreon page. But you don't have to do that because at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and also be sure to share the video. And I'll see you guys in episode 29. Bye guys.